Well, I greet you in divine love on today. I just want to come and talk to some of you young ladies that, that may be bitter with your baby daddy. Let me just begin to encourage you and motivate you on tonight and share a few things with you that's very vital and important in this hour and in this season. Ladies, listen, if your baby daddy is helping you and wanting to help you with that child and he has moved on from you as far as relationship wise, let me admonish you, ladies, don't hold those children hostage on the counter of your evil heart and the evil intent of your mindset. Begin to do the right thing, because at the end of the day, you are one, causing that baby to be confused. Two, you are causing that baby more harm than good. And three, you are causing the baby to be that you're doing. You're causing it to be detrimental to that baby's soul. Let me tell you, whatever issue that you have going on with your baby daddy, it has nothing to do with that child. That child did not ask to be here. You two made the decision to lay down and sleep together. So, with that being said, don't be ignorant in this hour and in this season by keeping those children away from the baby daddy. And let me say this, God only knows. Don't get the police involved, because one, when you call the police, two, no, back to one, I'm sorry, you're inviting them to come and get in the midst of your business. Two, and you, when you call the police, you're inviting a war, a gun fight, to a verbal altercation that's not on the daddy's behalf, but on your behalf. So just begin to think about what you're doing. You're allowing the child to see this, and you're saying that all matters are evil about the dad, and the dad is trying to take care of the child. Let me tell you, baby, get out of your feelings and move on with your life, because whatever happened, that you guys are not no longer together, just begin to know that it was not meant. If it was, you would still be a thing. And study an argument, and study another number in the child support system. So I'm just saying to you today, my friend, begin to wise up, woman. I'm telling you, it's not even worth it. You keeping that kid away from the father, it's not worth it at all. And for those of you that have stepchildren, let me just say to you today, get out of your feelings. And when I say get out of your feelings, you are jealous that there is another kid on the outside that may have been there before you, or that may have been conceived after you, or may have been conceived while you. So I'm saying all that to say today, begin to move out of your own way and allow things to happen the way that it's supposed to happen, pertaining to a father and their children, and the children, or the father and a child. However the case may be, whatever the case may be, you just get out the way and allow that thing to run its course. If you are being disrespected by another woman on the count of your baby daddy, then take the necessary steps to begin to put that pen to the paper. But if you are the cause, the root cause of that father not seeing that child, I admonish you today, begin to get out of your own way, because it's not making any sense. The kid or kids love they dad, but you are being too naive and ornery to even allow the child to even see the dad. It makes no sense for a dad to have to go through the hoops and leap over walls and bend over backwards by getting all type of law enforcement, and getting the law in the situation is just not making any sense, ladies. I'm telling you, get out of your own way. And when I say get out of your own way, do a self check. If you jealous of your baby daddy that he's moved on, or if you jealous of him because you couldn't keep him, for whatever reason the case may be, let me tell you, don't hinder that baby from seeing the dad. Get out the way and let that relationship be built. Because there are children out here wishing and hoping and praying that a dad will come into their life. And I'm telling you, it's not a good feeling and it's not a good look on the behalf of us women that's out here being ignorant. So I'm just saying to you today, think about what you're doing, because you're doing that child more harm than good. If that dad is flying over 1,000 miles to see the kid and you're not showing up, you're not allowing the kid to talk to the dad or anything of that nature, just think about it. There's going to come a time that you wish you had allowed that kid to talk to the dad. And you're going to think back and regret everything that you've done. God forbid if God take them out of here. And I'm just speaking in reality. I want you to think about what you're doing and how you're doing it and who you're doing it to. Because guess what? Whenever you get through, you are still hurting because y'all not together. You are still in denial because y'all not together. You are still delusional because, what you're doing is delusional. That's crazy. To keep that kid away from the father, and he flying out, or he, meeting at the appointed place, and you have court order papers that y'all supposed to go by. Why? Because you got them involved. Come on, this is something that you have to deal with, and you still not obeying by what the judge has set in place. It's just a matter of time, if you're not careful, that kid will be permanent with that dad, and you will be on the other end having to fly and meet them. Just think about it. You'll be paying all that money that he wasted to see his kid, even if he traveling by way of car. Even if he traveling from one side of town to the next side of town. It's still gas and time. It's still money that can be spent on that kid that you wasting because of your heart. So I'm telling you today, my friend, don't be ignorant. Just allow this thing to run its course. Because if that man is doing wrong by your child, and if another woman is involved, and just because they're together, you have to really put that thing in its place. Hopefully and prayerfully he's not that weak-minded that he would allow that woman or that woman's children to misuse and abuse your child or your children. Prayerfully he's not that weak-minded. So if these are things that's in your head and in your mind, I'm telling you today, baby, let it go. It's not worth holding on to. Let that thing run its course, because it has an expiration date. And only you can allow that expiration date to run its course and meet that expiration date by getting out of the way and let things happen. Let the chips fall where they may. Stop holding on to revenge. Stop holding on to unforgiveness. Stop holding on to every battle that's within your mind. Stop holding on the get back syndrome. I got to get back at him. Whatever it is. If y'all have been separated for 6 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 months to a year, baby, move on with your life and let that man see that child. Get out the way and go on with your life. Find you a career path. Stick to it and make things happen just like that man. And if he's not making things happen, even if he behind on child support, still take care of that child and do what needs to be done. Get out of your own way, my friend. Baby girl, it's not worth it. And for sure it's not worth you taking a gamble to call the police when he's not doing anything, or not dancing by your beat, or dancing by your routine, or dancing the way you say dance, moving the way you want him to move. Don't call the police, because guess what? 9 times out of 10, you're going to take a gamble and end up having that man killed by the police. And it's not worth it. Then will be too late. Then you will have that on your conscience. Then you would have to explain that to your child. Then you will have to explain that to yourself. Why did I do that? Was I being selfish? Was I being stupid? Was I being ignorant? Then you would have to have that on your conscience. Because in this hour and in this time, the devil using whomever, however, whenever, and wherever. So I'm just saying to you today, baby girl, let it ride. Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever you holding on to, even if he cheated on you, you can't take that back. Even if you walked away from the relationship, you can't get that back. Even if he was abusive to you, you can't get that back. You can't undo anything that I just said. What's done is done and cannot be undone. Only thing you can do is move from that place until where you are now. Pick up where you are now and move forward with your life. And let me talk to some of you step parents. You don't treat your child better than you treat your husband's child. If y'all don't have children together, you treat his children and you treat her children just like you would treat your own. Don't make a difference between the children just because you are in the house with that man or you are in the house with that woman. Don't do that, because at the end of the day, who's suffering is that child. I'm going to share this and I'm going to end here. I saw this video where these parents, child was, their oldest child had killed the younger two children, the siblings. And I heard the mother say that she was having a hard time and staying in communication with her child, which is her child, but not her husband's child. But the smallest two children got taken out by the oldest child. These are people that save. I said all that to say this. At the end of the day, that's still her child. You don't turn your back on your child for nobody. I don't care what happened. You still have to be there for that kid. That kid still needs his mother. If your husband decide to stop going, why? Because he injured the husband. But it's up to the husband to forgive that kid, regardless to what. But it was said that the child had mental issues. Well, my thing is this. In spite of the child having mental issues, that's still that mother's child. So I'm saying all that to say this. Don't allow partiality to kick in, because you never know that it may kick up a rage in one of those children. If you mistreating one of those kids, for I'm trying to say, if you are the biological parent to the children that's in the home with you and your husband, and you don't have any children with that husband or with that boyfriend, let me say that, because a lot of people shacking, and I'm not knocking it, is wrong, but hey, it is what it is, and I'm just going to address the issue at hand. So let me just say to you too, those of you that have more children, you don't allow that man to bring his children in the house and you treat his children better than you treat your own. Or you don't treat your children better than you treat his. You treat those children the same. You treat them equally. And I'm telling you today, my friend, hear me and hear me good, because you don't know what you're setting up in those children when they see you making a difference, because they know. Don't think that they don't. They know. These kids are smart and they are wise. So I'm telling you today, for your own good, be careful at how you're treating them. And if you have more than one, I'm telling you, try to make amends with that child or those children, because children go through too, and you can cause things to set up. We never know. Those kids, by the husband, could have been the example and the illustration that I just used. Those kids could be very well, being treated better than the oldest child, and the child already thinking that the mom is treating the smallest two by the husband better than him, and he feel left out. He was only 19 years old, but if you knew your child had mental issues, then we have to walk careful, of those type of things, because sometimes favoritism do come off with certain ones. And I used to tell people, they said that I had a favorite child, but let me tell you, I had 5 children. So no, I didn't have a favorite child. But if one child reaches out to me and show me love and respect, guess what? I'm going to reach back out to that child and show that child love and respect back. What I'm supposed to do? Not just turn, a deaf ear to that kid? No, I can't. If the other one's showing me that they're pushing away from me, how can you begin to reach out to somebody that's pushing you away? It only lasts for so long. So with that being said, I had too many kids to begin to treat one better than the other. I treated them all equally. They may beg to differ. They may say differently. But it doesn't matter, because I know in my heart that I did treat them all the same. One may have been in the household with me, but the other 4 may have not been in the household with me. What was I supposed to do? When they all came around, I treated them the same. I did not treat them any differently. And if they told you the truth, if they sat at the table and talked to you and told you the truth, they'll tell you that I didn't make a difference. I only reached out to the ones that reached out to me when they got grown. And I'm telling you, and I said all that to say this, we have to be careful of those children that's trying to turn another child or other children against the parent, because it happens. But you have to begin to cipher out and see and know that it's happening. And if you save, God will show you. He will allow you to see. So with that being said, ladies, begin to get it together and allow these men to see these children. Don't begin to take them out of the father's life, and don't play Russian roulette with these kids because on account of your foolishness or your ignorant behavior. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not calling you ignorant, but what you're doing is very ignorant. But you're smarter than that. You're bigger than that. So with that being said, on today, begin to hear me and hear me well. Allow those children to see their dad, because it's not beneficial if you don't, but it's more beneficial if you do. So think about what you're doing. And you don't have to pick up the phone and call Sally Sue. You ain't got to pick up the phone and call Billy Bob. They don't have to know. You just begin to get yourself together and get out the way of your own self and allow things to begin to come into divine alignment with that father and the child, or that father and those children. Because some of y'all are taking your anger and frustrations out on the baby because of who the baby daddy is. And it's not right. So get it together, my friend. Ladies, you know I come to you and I greet you in divine love at all times. I thank you for this time and for this opportunity. It's yours truly, Raw Truth and Uncut, coming to you with nothing but raw truth and real talk. Be blessed until next time. I thank you for listening to me and hearing me out.